Castle tour. Right, let's end this van. Oh, Castle nè.
Ông giỏi chứ.
Nó nói tiếng
Làm
Anh.
tài xế, nói tiếng Anh, tiếng Italy, rồi tiếng Pháp nữa này.
Đúng rồi. This coast.
Not everyone speaks today. According to figures some years ago, about 55,000 people or so claim to speak Irish as their first language, mostly in the Bridletop area in certain parts of Ireland. I have a reasonable knowledge of Irish. I learned it at school. I get some interesting hand signals. I will stop there. But there are other Martello towers. There's one on the headland to the left. You see some more as you go along. Martello Towers built during the Napoleonic Wars were defence buildings on the coast of Ireland and Great Britain. It's very well known they were built in other parts of the world as well. Quite a lot of Martello Towers built in Ireland, 23 of them in the Dublin area in 1804. In the early 19th century there was a belief that there would be a French, the Battle of Waterloo. The garrisons were taken out of the towers here. Many of the towers are now converted into houses. We'll see more Martello towers as we go along. That belongs to the Revelstowe family. The Revelstows own Lambay Island. And the castle there is a fine example of medieval architecture. But to visit Lambay Island, you need permission from the Revelstowe. Now it was on Lambay Island by Dublin Bay. And the island just off the coast at home is called Ireland's Eye. See? Another Martello tower here in Portmarnock, converted into a house. Portmarnock is a very popular seaside village. Portmarnock Strand, also called the Velvet Strand. Now, in the early days of aviation, this beach was used as a sort of runway. At low tide, it's hard-packed sand, made a fairly good runway. From this beach, a couple of pioneering flights were made. And from this beach, the Australian aviator Sir Charles Kingsford Smith flew a famous plane called the Sun at the Havilland Busmont. In that plane, aviator James Mollison made the first solo east to west flight across the Atlantic Ocean. On the 18th of August in That bus there on the left, that's the Republic of Ireland football team's coach. On the left, the Irish football team stay there. When they come internationals, they train there at Malahide. Nice golf course here at Portmarnock Hotel and Golf. Golf course here was designed by a German golfer and former European Ryder Cup captain Bernhard Langer. Designed the golf course here at Portmarnock Hotel and Golf.
Rồi đi nữa hả?
Trần nhà
Coast này mà còn nhiều đất không?
Coast còn nhiều đất quá trời.
Không có tại vì ở đây Coast không à?
Ra nó không ke mấy. Giống như ở Việt Nam đó. Biển ông Vũng Tàu nhà rẻ rè. Còn ở Sài Gòn nhà mới đắt, tại vì ở Sài Gòn ta làm ăn được. Còn có cái cửa hàng làm ăn.
We'll bring you to home. Move on. On the hill ahead, at the other end of the harbour, by the way, there's a marina, Old Yacht Club. It's over there. On the hill ahead, another Martello Tower. They're kind of hills, really. They're called the Dublin Mountains. Also ahead, the coastline is south to Dublin, a lot like Dublin Bay.
Dublin Bays.
I'm going to go up another little hill here and down the other side, so the better view in just a few moments. Just up the other side of the hill. This headland is made up of a distinctive orange station at Ringsend, electricity supply board generating station, fueled by natural gas. They burn oil there sometimes, usually natural gas. I'm just going to reverse back a bit. Just over to the left, Pickle Mountains, a cone shape, and it's a Sugarloaf. It's a bit cool this afternoon, but I would think this time of year, October, midnight, end of October, it's a lovely quality for the light at this time of year. And it's nice clear day. If anyone wants to go out and take a picture, that's okay with a strip of land. So looking ahead and to the right is the Irish Sea, and to the left is Dublin Bay. And the little strip of land ahead between here and
Dublin
Sutton
Bays.
is reclaimed land, reclaimed from the sea. Holt was an island originally. At high tide anyway, was cut off from the rest of Dublin. So you're down now almost to sea level along this reclaimed beach back to Sutton village. And after that we take the road back to the city.
Dublin Bays.
Tìm việc khó kiếm lắm, đâu có phải dễ đâu. Ngay cả người nó còn không có việc.
Arabic.
Đó, nhà có sân cỏ đâu đẹp.
It's the cửa sông của Liffey River. L-I F-F gì?
F-F-E-Y
T-Y E-Y F-F-E-Y Liffey River.
That's the way I'm showing. She doesn't want to get up there. Then we'll be getting nervous. It's a proper timetable as well, unless you'll get the door. Yeah, but do you know what I mean though? They're really kids. Where's this? That bridge is in its turning. We're going to come into it, yeah, on the way back. And the way in is the same way as the way out. Is it one of them all home? I'll take it. 2 to 3 minutes. You see it here, a big massive sign. I have a guy there. Flying on a mean. Flying on a. He knew I was going to do it. I pulled it. I stuck him at the light.
Okay.
buses stuck in the muck and the mud coming out of Dublin. They couldn't get anywhere at all. They were stuck. There was jam, traffic everywhere, and yet we're still getting out of Belfast. And it's still like 9:05. That's brilliant. Excellent. These days I haven't got out of Belfast at 9:30, and it never. Visitors, like the batteries about to fall out of the bus or whatever. Just a couple years ago. Unless you show some Padre Amulagai. Hold my horn. Which means, especially shows some Padre Amulagai. Then you've even got his chest here, look. You've got his chest, then you've got his body sweeping out to the sea.
Oh.
That is Gulliver's Travels. That is the Sleeping Giant.
Oh, Sleeping Giant ở bên Tahiti nó có.
This was, it was also up on that hillside, guys, back in 1791. It's the first drive for a republic within Ireland. This is where republicanism was born, up on top of that hillside. Whenever Protestants, Catholics and dissenters all united together under the common good of Irish man.
Yeah, in Belfast. What do you got? One.
A warfare people, you know, that have fought with each other and challenged each other in battle for different titles, different prizes, you know what I mean? It was part of their culture. As the Romans would say, they were barbaric people. They had a civilization long before the Romans. So, it was then that Patrick, 40 different shades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Oh, there's Scotland. That's
Scotland.
beautiful.
We're going to be hitting the coast now. We'll be hitting the coast
Scotland.
in 2 seconds. Sorry. Like 2 seconds. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean that. Take that back. We're going to be cutting out into this.
Nhà mới.
Everything is so clean.
Yeah. No pollution. That's why. Uh-oh. Nó clear, nhìn trời nó clear. Bên kia mình lot of pollution.
Scotland.
Look at this place. Look out there, look.
July people come and go. It's like
That's Scotland over there, guys.
just to see your striptease show. July, please try your best to stay.
Chạy tới đó.
Oh my, oh my.
Scotland from Ireland. I'm like, you can't. They're like, no, you can't. My God, Scotland's miles away. You know, there's 29 miles of Kintyre. That is the Mull of Kintyre down there. And over here, then you've got the Mull of Islay. And this the island out here is what's known as Rathlin Island. This is part of Ireland. You know, there was a court battle.
Wow.
There was a court battle between Ireland and Scotland for that island out there, right?
Oh, the little one?
For this little island here. See this island here?
Where?
Just this one.
Oh,
This is
okay.
what's Rathlin Island, right? And there was a court battle between Scotland and Ireland for it, and the judge couldn't make up his mind whether it was closer to Scotland or closer to Ireland, because it is directly in the middle to make a decision on who owned the island. And he weighed up all the evidence. He weighed up that it was as near to Scotland as it is to Ireland. He weighed up that it was a Scottish man who came and hid in the cave, but it was always owned by the Celts, New Zealand. New Zealand has no snakes either. 2 little islands in the world that don't have snakes on. So,
So what is over there and the further down?
over there, that's the Mull of Islay
Oh,
in Scotland.
no, that belongs
Yeah.
to Scotland.
You're going to be down here now shortly. You're going to be walking out onto this little island. You'll be walking all the way along this coastline, so you can get all the photographs you want all the way along. So you can. One of the best photographs you can get is that if you stand here on Ireland, give somebody your camera, take a photograph of Scotland in the background, right? Because then whenever you go back and you're showing your friends all about your photographs, you can turn around into your friends and they're looking at it and going like, so what's this? And that's like, that's Scotland. And they'd be like, but you went to Ireland. You go like, I know. And they'd be like, well, what's the photograph of? And you'd be like, it's of Scotland. But where were you at? I was in Ireland. Make your mind up. Were you in Scotland or Ireland? I was in Ireland. What's the photograph of? Scotland. Okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. It's a photograph of me in Ireland with Scotland. Background. Yeah, so it's a very good photograph. It's the only place in the world you'll find that. It's Point. If you've ever heard of Guglielmo Marconi, Guglielmo Marconi was the first man ever to bring us radio telegraph. You know, a radio
I
telegraph.
knew the name, but I couldn't, yeah. Okay.
Marconi,
Morse code and that.
yes, that sent the telegraph signal. First of all, the telegraph signal was sent from Newfoundland to Halifax in Canada. But then he came over here and Marconi sent his assistant out to that island. And in 1898, his assistant sent the first radio telegraph back into Marconi, into the mainland of Ireland. And he was sending for the Lloyd's Company of London when they were signalling the arrival of a cargo ship around this north coast of Ireland there. This is all the north coast of Ireland here, you know. And the cargo ship had arrived from America. It was sailing from Maine in America over to this I think it was Maine. No, not Maine.
Massachusetts, Washington.
Could be, or even, might even actually be New York, where they were coming from. And because when you're looking out there, it's up at that island, guys, you're looking north. So this is round the north coast of Ireland that you're going to be looking at here.
Gorgeous.
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 Absolutely gorgeous. You've even got the wee church in the middle of it, look. It'll be closed.
Why?
I thought it was closed now.
It closed for winter.
Oh,
No, just a week's time and it should be closed around the 31st of October.
Because snow or what?
Just bad weather.
Bad weather.
It's supposed to be bad weather. This is very, very good weather for this time of the year. So it is, although it's a wee bit cold, but it's still very good weather. So it is. Yeah. So this is Carrick-a-Reid you're coming to now, guys. Carrick-a-Reid means the rock on the road. It is the rock that is in the road. What's the rock on the road of? That little island that you're seeing now, coming around this corner. That is what Carrick stands for. In Gaelic language, Carrick means rock. A raid is in the road. That rock is in the road. The road is the Atlantic Ocean. And the Atlantic Ocean is the western migration path for the North Atlantic salmon. And this is where the fishermen, since the end of the 17th century, they named this Carrick-a-Reid because what they realised is that every year, while the North Atlantic salmon is on its migration path, coming from the salt water to find the fresh water to go and spawn, it's hugging the coastline. And it is hugging this coastline all the way along, hugging the coastline looking for the mouths of the rivers. When it's looking for the mouths of the rivers, it gets to this little island. And because there's a chasm between the mainland and the island, and that chasm at the bottom of it is too shallow for the salmon to swim through, when they get to the island they can't get past it. So they have to turn around and swim right out around the island. And it's with that turning of the salmon that the rope bridge was originally used for. The fishermen would get quick access out to the island, run down round the little steps, get to the very bottom, jump in the boat and pull out a hook net and a bag net, a drift net and a bag net, and whenever they would pull it out, it's then that the salmon would come in around, with the bag net out like that, the salmon would just swim straight into it. And that's what the fishermen would get large catches of salmon out of. And that is why it is called the rock in the road. So, in the 17th century they erected the first rope bridge here. You know, they used the first rope bridge where they had, at the end of the 17th century, for quick access out to the island, they used to have just like one rope to stand on and two ropes to hold on to. You know, I can tell you, it's okay, today they've got it a bit better. It's like 2 ropes to stand on and 2 ropes to hold on to. That's okay, there's only 5 people falling off so far this year. So, you know, but it's alright, it was 6 this time last year, but You never know. Today could be your lucky day, right? So, guys, you know, they still have the rope bridge erected at the minute, like, and it is that rope bridge that, as I say, they used as quick access out to the island to pull out the net to catch the salmon. They fished it right up until 2002, right? But they've stopped fishing it now because surveys that they showed from 1920 right up to 2002. In 1920, for instance, the catch that they were catching in the year of 1920 showed that the catch they were getting was in the abundance of 300 salmon per day during the season, during that migration time. The survey that they did in 2002 showed that they were catching only 200 per year.
Wow, what happened?
So there's a serious decline in the North Atlantic salmon. If it's not stopped being fished, it will go extinct. So they've quit fishing it to try to regenerate the numbers in the North Atlantic salmon, try to get them to reproduce themselves as much as possible. So now is your opportunity, guys, to go down to the rope bridge if you wish. You can see in front of you here you've got the little kiosk. If you just go down to that kiosk, when you get to the kiosk, just tell them you're with Paddy Wagon, or even better, this man out here's got little tickets. If you just get a little discount voucher, just a little discount.
Đây nè, the bridge there. Nước 2 đồng 3. Nước phải trả 2 bao 3, đó tức là khoảng 5 đồng đó mà.
Thấy cái này thấy không? Thấy cái we're going to cross the bridge.
Đây mà thấy rõ cái Scotland nè.
Scotland in a far away island. Núi thì sao không? Núi người ta ăn cỏ nó khỏi phải cắt.
Nước ở đây cũng trong dữ rồi nè.
Để đẹp mà.
Nhìn thấy cái tuốt dưới luôn.
Ireland.
cho tôi theo mà.
Bây giờ
Chưa tới 11 giờ.
các bạn ơi, phải giữ này.
Quay em đi xuống dưới đây anh quay đi.
Đâu từ từ bước xuống đi. Phải không? Ồ, dạ
Lát
dạ.
nữa em qua bển em đứng anh chụp lên nè.
Hay quá ha.
Thế nào cứ nói hình em chụp cho anh nữa hả?
À. Ôi cái này đẹp không? Chụp đây. Không. Trên này đâu phải là co quay đâu, phải không? Chưa.
Trong này mới là Cross Bridge thôi.
Nó Chris rồi.
Nước có kia giá sập nhiều nữa.
À. Fairway Island, Scotland. Cái này được rồi, cái này được rồi.
Được rồi.
Rồi vô.
Đi về còn đi qua cái phía tao bên vậy đó. Cái phía bên kia rồi.
Kêu. Hả?
Không có rắn.
Không rắn với
Cái ông thần ông Saint Patrick á.
à.
Trên cái cây thánh giá ông có cúng con rắn trên cây thánh giá.
Với nó ở ấy nó cũng không có snake nữa. New Zealand. Đâu biết được.
Chụp trên hình ở trong cái
Poster hả?
poster này.
Ừ. Chạy làm gì hết? Đi chạy đi chạy. Đi Hợp ơi. Ok ok. Thì mình đi này cũng đúng á. Lucky à.
Gió nó tạt sợ tao
Mà cái này là bữa nay trời cũng tốt nè.
Ừ. Mình mới see được Scotland đó.
À.
Nếu mà trời mờ mờ chắc không thấy đâu. Nếu mà biết như vậy mà mình cũng không đi sớm được nữa. Biết vậy đi ngày mùng 10 nhưng anh đâu có đi sớm được.
Ừ.
Sớm hơn mấy ngày cũng đỡ lắm chứ. Hồi trước nó thay đổi nhiều. Gió nó lạnh lắm, nó tăng lên.
Scotland. That's Scotland.
Have you been in the States? No. It's closer than States.
Yes.
How long are you over here now? Oh, we came since Monday. Yeah, we fly out. We flew on Monday. Then to go back Saturday. Are you just doing the time? Yeah, just
I did not stint, for I gave her with her alone, laying there, and her dark hair like clouds of
Beautiful, look at that.
Yeah.
beautiful.
We don't have any left.
I know, there's not, you know, they would build all the resorts here.
We high rise there.
I know. Yeah,
I mean, there's none left in the whole United States.
I know.
If they tear down and start building this something new.
They try to evict all of the people that live in the trailer park, you know, the trailer along the coast, and they build all the high-rise
10
building
million
there.
now, high rise.
Yeah.
We're doing that in Florida.
Thì ở đây the same mà thế, bằng nhau không có mắc hơn gì.
But the people filling the trailers or selling their trailers for $1 million.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that in
They can retire.
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod. Yeah, they're American.
Such interesting stone.
Oh,
It's
wait.
like that.
My reason, my that I had not as
That's all.
a creature made of with the angels that play, he'd lose his wings at
Happened some 55 to 60 million years ago. They said this is how it was made. That's not true. That is not true, for it is said in this land of Ireland that many and many years ago there stood a great giant by the name of Fionn McCool. Now Fionn McCool, as a young lad, had grown up throughout the land of Ireland. He had searched every river in Ireland for this magical fish. He had searched along with the oldest and wisest man in Ireland, known as Finnegas. And they had searched for this magical fish known as the salmon of knowledge. For it was said in this land of Ireland that anyone who ever tasted this salmon of knowledge would become the wisest man in this land of Ireland. So it was then that after fishing the rivers they caught this magical salmon of knowledge. And while the young Finn McCool sat there preparing this magical salmon for his master Finnegas, it was there that a blister arose on the side of the salmon, and the young Finn McCool, not knowing what he was doing, stuck his thumb into the blister of the salmon, and the hot oil splashed on his thumb. And being the young lad that he was, what was the first thing he would do? He stuck his thumb in his mouth to cool his thumb, and by doing so, he had tasted this magical fish, this magical salmon of knowledge. After he raised his head, and he looked across the causeway. Gazing across the causeway from within the mist of Scotland, there he could see the Scottish giant Benadonna coming tramping across the causeway towards the shores of Ireland. Now when the Irish giant Fionn McCool seen this Scottish giant, he knew he would be of no match to him, for the Scottish giant was twice the size. And not knowing what to do, he quickly ran and asked Una, and Princess Una quickly hatched a plan. For there, when she looked into the corner of the house, sat Oisin's little cot from when he was a baby. And Princess Una told Fionn McCool, the giant, if he was quick enough, to run over into the corner and squeeze himself as tight as he could into this cot, which the giant did when he came to sleep in the corner. When the Scottish giant arrived to the shores of Ireland, he slapped his fist down in this land, shaking Ireland till its very core. He turned and he shouted at the top of his voice, "Where is this wee Irish giant that has stolen my princess?" And Princess Una looked up at the Scottish giant and turned to Benadonna and says, "Sure, my great Fionn, my great Irish giant has gone off throughout the land of Ireland, searching for stag and boar. There is no one here but me and my child." And the Scottish giant Benadonna rustled over into the corner, and when he looked down into the cot, he began to shake. He began to shake with fear, and he said to himself, "Oh my God, if that there is the Irish baby, what size is the Irish giant?" And out of fear of the return of the Irish giant, it was then that the Scottish giant Benadonna turned on his heels. Turning on his heels, he ran for the shores of Scotland. As he was running across that causeway that Fionn McCool had built, as he was running across it, he was pulling the stones up from behind him, making sure that the Irish giant would not chase him back over to the shores of Scotland, thinking that the Irish giant was twice the size of him. And as he was halfway across that causeway, it was then that the cheeky wee Irish giant jumped out from that cot, As he jumped out from the cot, he reached across the land and he pulled a lump of earth from the ground. Taking that lump of earth, he swung it above his head as fast as he could. With every swing, more and more momentum, till eventually he launched it and fired it at the Scottish giant while he was reaching the shores of Scotland. As he fired that piece of land, it bounced off the Scottish giant and it landed between here and Britain. When it landed between here and Britain, it became known as the Isle of Man. Where Finn McCool pulled the lump of earth from the ground, it filled with water and it became known as Lough Neagh, the largest body of water in Ireland. And here, on this North Antrim coast, guys, we still have got some of them stepping stones that giant once built all the way across to the shores of Scotland to take his Celtic princess by her hand. And that is how it was made. Some people refers to it as the 8th natural wonder of the world, but it's not natural. The giant built it. So guys, now's your opportunity. Go down there and see all them stepping stones that lead all the way out into the sea to where that causeway once existed. Now, you have 2 ways of doing this. Well, you have 3 ways of doing this, right? You can either walk up along the cliff edge, up along the path, till you get to the top of what is called the Shepherd's Steps. When you get to the Shepherd's Steps, please go down the steps, right? Don't keep going straight on, because if you keep going straight on, you'll end up walking back to the rope bridge. And you don't want to go there, you've already been there, right? So, when you get to the Shepherd's Steps, there's 139 steps to the bottom. So you can go up the cliff edge, down the steps. When you get it to the bottom of the steps, you stay to the left. If you stay to the left, you'll walk up along the path. You come up along the path. On the right hand side, you'll see what is called the Giant's Boot. It's authentic, sort of, to get your photograph sitting on the Giant's Boot. It also gives you an idea of what size the giant was. You know, the boot is about size 63. So massive, right? And when you see the Giant's Boot, then you come on ahead up and you'll see like a gateway, and you'll see the Grand Causeway sweeping out into the sea. That Grand Causeway is all the different multi-sided shapes, all the different little stepping stones that the giant built out into the sea. That is where you'll get all the nectagons, octagons, sectagons, pentagons, fivegons, fortagons, and you've got 1 3-dagon. There's only 1 3-dagon, right? Some people refer to it as triangle, right? 3-dagon, a 3-sided stone. There's only 1 3-sided stone and 38,000 of them. They say if you can find it, and if you can find it and look at it and make a wish, it will come true. But you've got 38,000 of them to go through. Alright? So guys, whenever you get to the Grand Causeway, that's where you can, you know, see where the people all climb up on it, and you can climb over the top of it and all. And then you've got a roundabout, and the road comes all the way back up the hill. So that is the round trip. You can go up the cliff edge, down the steps, to the causeway and back up the road. Right? If you wish not to go up the cliff and down the steps, you can merely just walk down the edge of the road and walk back up the edge of the road. It'll take you 20 minutes down, 20 minutes back up. That way it'll take you half an hour and then 20 minutes back up, whichever way you want to do it. Right? Plus, in behind this brown cabin over here, guys, you have a shuttle bus. Right? The shuttle bus will cost you £1 down, £1 back. It's entirely up to yourself which way you want to do it. Or you could, if you don't fancy any way of doing that, you could just sit in the bus, wait until we get it back to Belfast, you fly to Glasgow, walk to the edge of Scotland and swim over. It's entirely up to yourself. But now that you're here, it's probably the best option. Right? So guys, that is your ways that you can do this, okay? It is now 10 minutes past 12. Could you be back to me at 25 minutes to 2? That gives you 1 hour and 25 minutes, okay?
20 minutes to 2.
That's the most time we can spend here. So guys, you have 1 hour and 25 minutes. Be back to me at 22. That means you've got 1 hour and a half, 1.5 hours. What time do you have, guys?
I have 10 after 12.
10 minutes past, 10 minutes past, that's what I have as well. Yeah, so 10 minutes past, if you're back to me at 20 minutes to 2, that means that's an hour and a half. Guys, if you want to grab yourselves a wee sandwich and a wee bite of lunch, this is where your opportunity to have lunch will be, inside. It is the least busiest day of the year that I've seen yet. Honest to God. So guys, go for it. Go and enjoy. Be back to me no later than 20 minutes to 2. Good deal, Joe.
Ở đây trên nước uống.
Ừ. Đây cũng còn có xuôi này. Trong đây không có.
Chụp không?
Không. Vậy sao?
Bà đó con bà nó đi Lào, đi Việt Nam, đi Thái á.
Yeah.
Ừ. Hiện giờ đi đưa các bạn. Bả đi 6 ngày đi qua Southern của Ireland rồi cái bà mới từ đó bà mới đi
Norton.
đi không đi Norton đây rồi nè, Norton là đây rồi. Rồi bà sẽ đi về đi Rome, bà gặp bạn bà ở bên Rome á. Rồi từ Rome đi Rome rồi cái từ Rome bà mới lấy cái cruise ship đi Greek đi này kia đó, Portuguese rồi về lại Florida. Từ vì cái ship á đi bằng tàu về lại Florida. Cái chỗ cũng hay. Đi vậy cũng hay chứ, đi nguyên cái vòng như vậy. Sáng tại anh ăn thì em ăn.
Có lẽ có không biết tại sao, chẳng biết tại sao nãy trời ơi đi
Bỏ nó buổi sáng đi sớm
lúc gì nó 5 giờ đó, 5 rưỡi tận này đó.
đi tiêu chảy là phải ăn uống cái chỗ
Không nghĩ đâu, nó bụng mà.
nó gom mấy cái cục đá đó hả?
Đó là sao? cái này.
Mà để nước nó mềm nó cứng lại.
Hay á, thuyền này hay á. Nhiều khi mình nót nó hay hơn mình sao, giống như mình nay nó anh hả, mình nót xây làm sao. Đấy, đi cầu không, nhẹ người dễ sợ. Cái nãy ngồi treo nó sâu ruột nó bụi. Cái phải là thuốc mà.
Đó là tại ăn vô cái
Ăn đủ thức sáng. Miêu, vô cái trà. Nhất là tối ngủ cũng được.
ngủ không được hả?
Tại cái chờ hoài đó. Ngủ trễ mà chờ sợ nó trễ nữa. Anh mà
nãy trên đường đi cũng đẹp lắm á, mà tại đây nó còn nghĩ nè, nó dùng ra rồi cái đi. Ồ, mấy cái cục đá này hả?
cái này dưới kia là nó hình hexagon này kia đó.
Cái côn này kia hả?
Đó, hình bát giác, hình lục lăng, hình
Ăn chả không?
dưới này nè, như cái cục đó ấy.
Nè, để em cầm cho khỏi vô tay.
Em coi nè. Nó sạch. Causeway. Hey. Hey. Nó lửa form. Nhưng mà không phải la ba. Chưa để thằng này nó chụp xong hả? Thằng này đang chụp kìa. Thì thằng này để chờ thằng này chụp xong hả?
Chụp thấy cái ngọn sáng bên kia, nó quay cái ngọn sáng bên kia rồi. Hả? Fantastic. Cái này nó ngộ thiệt đó chứ. Trong cái hình nó chụp mấy cái cục tròn này nè, đen đen này nè.
Nó loose rồi rồi.
Hả?
Cái này nó loose. Cái cục này loose không phải nè. Ừ.
Cái này là phốt bốc cái gì vậy ta?
Rampart to actually defend the fortress from. Now the castle, you know, it was a Christian fortress from the 5th century where it got its name, but the castle itself isn't from the... Murray gave his daughter's hand in marriage. He gave his daughter's hand in marriage and Strongbow was given a large dowry of land within Leinster, and it was then that Strongbow would really become the heir to the throne of Leinster. It was then that on the death of Dermot McMurrough in 1170 that you had the rise of Strongbow to the throne of Leinster, and it began the Norman conquest of Ireland. Now they say when the Normans came in Ireland they became more Irish themselves. You know, it would also be what would pave the way for the first English involvement in our country. And it's really from that time on that we've been trying to get the English back out of our country. Right? For back in 1171, after Dermot McMurrough had died and Strongbow raised to the throne, it was then that King Henry II, the King of England, ordered Strongbow to return to England with the armies and the mercenaries that he had taken into Ireland to seize back his land against him. And he reneged on that order. Remaining in Ireland, he said he had his own kingdom in Ireland. He had no call to be a subject of Henry II anymore. He was going to live within Ireland. He wanted to live in this kingdom of Ireland. So it was then that Henry II, under the command of the only ever English Pope in history, Pope Adrian VI, commanded that Henry II go into Ireland and seize back his armies